We're going to a Boodle Fight. Why don't you tell them what a Boodle Fight is, Matt? Why don't you go ahead and put them on to what a Boodle Fight is? Fill them in, tell them what a Boodle Fight is.
So it comes from...
We're going to do some research. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Matthew.
We are twin brothers, musicians and business owners.
And now masters of YouTube. Fast approaching 100,000 subscribers.
100,000.
We've been performing together since we were 14 and now we run a music studio.
If you watched our last video, you saw we visited the Classroom N7, a Filipino cafe in Holloway.
That was our first taste of Filipino food. In today's video we eat with our hands, so it was a little bit harder to film and you're going to hear a little bit more from us on the voiceover.
In our first meeting with Niko on Zoom, he told us about a friend of his called Rex. Like Niko, Rex is a chef, and he has recently been on a new Channel 4 show called the Great Cookbook Challenge, which is hosted by Jamie Oliver.
The goal of the show is to win a cookbook deal based on the strength of your concept, and Rex's concept was to introduce Filipino flavours to people who had never had them before.
Hey Matt, we're those people.
Yeah, buddy.
On TV, there's kind of been like Filipino influences. So there's a show with Jamie Oliver, and one of the guys there, his name's Rex. He's an amazing Filipino chef. We could probably go to one of his pop-ups if he has one. Whenever I start something new, he always comes to visit, and same thing, whenever he does something, I'll go visit him as well.
When I fell in love with you, it was a huge relief because I never ever thought I'd feel it deep. By surprise. When I fell in love with you, it was a huge relief because I never ever thought I'd feel it deep, 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 deep. A lot of foolish things keep happening to me when you're around, and I have things I need to do, so baby, not right now. Apparently holding your phone can bring your IQ down, while holding you is making me a clown. Pictures and everything, always wanted a curly
Not going on
ring.
actually because that would be
But
way
so
too much.
behind me, but you're so sharp, you let me
So Wikipedia says that the name Boodle Fight comes from the military practice of having a communal meal.
Now when I first heard this, I thought there could be some violence, a little bit of pushing, a little bit of shoving, so I was getting myself ready for it getting a little handsy.
But it wasn't, was it?
No, actually it was completely fine.
Banana leaves are laid out completely covering a long communal table before rice and various colourful dishes are placed equidistantly along the top so that all the food that's being served is right in front of you.
So we were harnessing the power of Kamayan during this eating experience, and as someone who usually likes to eat the more juicier fruits over the sink, it was a different kind of experience to me, but I got myself into the right headspace. The name of Rex's pop-up restaurant is Turo Turo. It's currently in the Manor of Walworth in Elephant and Castle.
When we took a seat at the table, a woman named Angel explained to us how we were going to begin this Boodle Fight. So we all stood up facing each other and she shouted, "Ready on the left, ready on the right, commence Boodle Fight." And that's when you see us looking a little bit awkward but still grabbing for food all the same because we were very hungry.
Our cameraman missed the first few words, but you'll see it.
Ready on the right?
Yeah.
Commence Boodle Fight.
So we started out with a huge bed of rice on top of some banana leaves. The rice itself seemed to be coated in like a garlicky, oily butter, which
so good.
made it really delicious. I didn't notice that straight away because everything seemed to have that same flavour, which is probably why I ate rice by the fistful.
Amazing. And I think I instinctively did what I then, when I researched, found out was the right way to do it, which is I pinched a kind of pyramid shape in my hand with rice and then used the push technique with the thumb. To avoid waste and to make sure everything stayed warm, the food was brought out in stages. An array of vegetables with different textures and colours. We had fresh corn, green beans, bok choy, sweet potato, beautifully softened aubergine, as well as 3 dipping sauces, vinegar with chilies, a soya glaze, which is quickly becoming one of our favourite things, and what Rex called an inner sal dipping sauce.
As further garnish, we had the carrot and ginger achara, which added a brilliant sweet sharpness that cut through all the other savoury dishes. Also beautifully sweet was the mango, which was a good palate cleanser. Right next to that was a salted egg, which had a massively strong flavour. After one massive bite, I decided quite quickly that I needed to take smaller bites alongside other dishes. We live and we learn.
On the subject of protein, we were given a lot of different options. Chicken, barbecued pork, prawns, whitebait, but most impressively, it was all beautifully cooked. The textures were amazing. If it was meant to be juicy, it was. If it was meant to be tender, it was.
Looking on the Turo Turo website, we can see that the chicken in a sal is cooked in a spiced vinegar butter glaze, and the pork tocino cooked for 4 hours in a pineapple soy glaze. When you put this much effort into your food, it really, really shows.
Another as yet unsung hero of the Boodle Fight were the vegetable lumpia. Please ignore how greasy my hand is. I feel like every culture has their version of this type of food. Something warming and crunchy, probably fried, filled with really soft, seasoned vegetables. I personally couldn't get enough, and thankfully Rex's team were kind enough to keep bringing them out until I had to eventually stop.
And now, because our audio was too bad, a subtitled conversation with Rex.
Thank you so much. That's my first Boodle Fight ever. I was coming like this,
It's a good experience, and I'm actually really well. I think people will like the novelty like you.
You were talking about it being more like a community sort of coming together. I wasn't sure if it was more like dominance. You have to
That's the irony of them calling it Boodle Fight.
At the end of our meal, we really felt as though we'd had a culturally enriching experience, not just dinner.
We are so grateful to Niko for inviting us. It felt like a celebration of everything we haven't been able to do over the past couple of years, really connecting on a human level with new people, which is a huge testament to what the event's supposed to be all about. Yeah, we're leaving with food in hand, we're stuffed, aren't we?
Absolutely stuffed. I've never eaten so much rice by the fistful before. We really, really enjoyed it. What an experience. It really, really was great.
Awesome. And as if the day wasn't great enough, we were also going home with Niko's legendary ube brownies. We really hope that you've enjoyed this video, guys, and we will be back with you soon.
With loads more food videos.